a tech tutorial around Google Drive and Docs. So if I am in Google Chrome, the browser I'm using is Chrome, and on the top right there's a plus button for a new window. I just clicked that. It brought up this, and you'll see there's a little, I am logged in to my personal Google account. And so that's why my little icon is up there. Some people have multiple accounts, and you want to be aware, multiple Google accounts, you want to be aware of which one you're using, because that will impact like what you see. So I am on my Maker's Mill account, and I'm going to click this little waffle, and I am going to go down to Drive. This is like my Drive is essentially your storage for all your files. And one thing to make note of here is there's two drives. See, right now I'm in my drive, and that is personal to me. Those are my files, my folders, etc. Shared drive is if people or organizations have shared folders with you, you're going to find those in shared drives. So for Maker's Mill, we use shared drives to share different folders with different groups of people. Our board has a shared folder. Our program circle has a shared folder. So each circle has a different folder. So depending on what circle you're in, this window will look different based on which ones you have access to. So it can also sometimes what people will do is if they're part of a circle rather than let's see if I can do it like this, or if there's a file rather, let me show you here. I'm going to go to shop circles. I'm going to use jewelry and metalsmithing as an example because they've done some great stuff this past couple weeks. And if I wanted to, I could add this file to my drive somewhere. So I could add a shortcut, and I could put it in my drive if for some reason you wanted to. But mostly what I want to talk about today is how to find things. So you go to, again, just to recap, you'd click on that waffle, you go to Drive, and then you would go down to Shared Drives on this left column, and you'd find the folder that you're wanting to look in. So we went into the jewelry and metalsmithing folder here, and I clicked on drill press steps. And so within this, I want to just go over a couple things. Actually, I'm going to find one where there's some more there we go. I want to find one where there's some more things to engage with. So notice the two icons here, the difference. So if you upload a Word document into Google Drive, it's going to have this W. And there's not a big difference, but if you go to here and you want to create a new document in Google Docs, it's going to have this other icon with the three lines. You can always convert one of these Word documents into a Google document. I think that there's more options in use. I think it's cleaner to use a Google document than a Word document for several different reasons we might get into. But that's the difference here. So if I wanted to convert this SOP FlexShaft Word document into a Google document, I would click on it. I would go to File, and then I would save as a Google Doc. Notice that the icon changed. If I go back to the folder, you're going to see that here it is. And what I would do is I would just delete this Word document one. Okay. Oops, sorry. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to click the little trash icon right there, move to trash. And now if I click on this, it's going to say that it's in the trash. And there you go. Now I've got this Word document one. Okay. So within this document, there are a couple things to know. I will talk about comments first. So you can, well, here, let's note this first. It's always important to check in what editing mode you're in. So right on the top right here, if you click on this, it's going to tell you if you're in editing mode, which means you're going to make changes, directly in the document, versus if you're in suggesting mode, where the changes you make become suggestions. So this is really helpful for people collaborating on a document where you want to make some changes, but you want others to review it first. Suggestion is really helpful. So I'll show you the difference. So right now I see this pencil to see that I'm in editing mode. So if I clicked in here and I said, don't forget to wear safety glasses. Okay, notice it just changes the document. That's it, right? But if I were to delete this and I were to be in suggesting mode and I said, don't forget to wear safety glasses. Notice on the right, my edits actually become suggestions, and someone else can come in and accept the suggestion or deny it, or they can comment about it, like, what about ear protection, or what if we don't have any eyeglasses, and then you could hit reply, and then you could start a little conversation or thread about that comment. So this is a really great tool, this suggesting mode. So Lynn wrote that comment in here. So what she did is she highlighted power switch and then made a comment about it. The flex shafts that go in reverse, designed for left-handed people. And I would say, great question. I don't know. Gosh, can't type. Anyway, and I would hit reply. And then, of course, if I hit this, I can edit my comment or I can delete it and so on. So it's always good to see if you're in suggesting mode or editing mode, or if you're just in viewing mode. And so once a document has been finalized, it can be helpful to put it in viewing mode so nobody, or make sure that it's in viewing mode so nobody messes with it. Depending on your access to these documents, you might only be allowed to be in viewing mode. So right here, when I clicked on share, I can see who actually has access to this document, and they have different kinds of access. I'm allowed to edit. Ashley here can only view. Kara can edit. There's a bunch of people who can only view, and so on. So it's restricted in that way, general access to the people above. I am able to change that, so I could make it so anyone with the link could view it or edit it, but right now it's restricted. So you got to kind of think about access and what you're able to do and what you want to be doing. Okay, so that's great. So the other thing I want to show you is around like tables. So I don't know if this is actually a Google table or not. Let me see. I don't think it is. This looks like it carried over from Word. Remember, because we converted a Word document into a Google document. So when this was created in Word, this sort of grid or sheet or whatever has its own settings. One of the reasons I prefer to start my documents right in Google is because I like the table feature. So test training doc. So in here, if I want to insert a table and I wanted, 3 rows and 3 columns, you do that by dragging your mouse like this, and I clicked on that, then I can start typing, tool name, model or something, whatever, directions. And then I can write in here. And the reason I prefer to do this within Google Docs and using the table is because of what happens on the left here. So if I want to add a row, it's really easy. I just hover over here and I click add. I can pin a header. So now I know that that is just going to stay there. There's lots of other options too. So, and if you go on top, you can add a column instead of a row. You can sort the table, all sorts of stuff. I could, if I wanted to copy this table, I could just highlight the whole thing and then come down here and click paste. And I've got another one. It's not connected. It's just, I just copied the table. But really, really user-friendly table viewing, as opposed to this one. If you notice, if I hover over here, nothing happens. I don't get that. There's still a way to do it. I think if you copy and then paste, it sort of works, but not as good. So again, I really encourage people, if you are doing the SOPs, to start in Google Docs and use this table feature. Okay, I think that is good enough for now.